Welcome to the Unstoppable Pursuit podcast, where we're pushing the limits in business, life, and health. And today, we're talking about wealth is health. I'm Brian Benson, my co-host Michael Stahl, Widow Peak on fleek, y'all. All right, he's reading from Dominate Your Day. Check out michaelstahl.com if you want a copy, and you're gonna want one.
All right. Passion is something so powerful. When you find what you truly want to do in life, there's absolutely no turning back. You can't, you won't. You found exactly what drives you on a daily basis to absolutely seize the day. Passion gets you through the hard times and to the great times. Passion has the ability to give you fulfillment on all levels because whatever it is you love to do, it's food to your soul. Nourishment. You could have all the talents in the room and have such a high potential for success, but if you can't get all fired up and passionate about something, you, my friend, have lost a sense of direction in life. To simply go through the motions, to give half effort, is such a waste of time. Passion is contagious as ever. When I'm around someone who has it, like Brian Benson, I get all fired up to do better and be better. Take a look in the mirror today and ask yourself what drives you, then go and do it.
Woo, baby. Good stuff, man. As you guys notice, Mike and I are both getting laid. Well, wait a second. For those of you listening at home, we have lays on. We're Hawaiian. We're just chilling, and we're ready to have a good episode here. But we're talking about wealth is health. And you know, I'm telling you right now, if you aren't at your healthiest, if you aren't feeling your best, if you aren't ready to go out into the world and do what you need to do, and you're not feeling at your best, you will not perform at your highest level, and you won't be able to achieve at your highest level. So we are so pumped to be talking about this. And, you know, a lot of this is going to go on Mike because he is the health and wellness expert here.
Too much pressure. That's too much pressure.
So I'm going to have him start out. And, you know, Mike, why is health so crucial to success?
Well, I think that when we think about success, everyone thinks about business first and foremost. They don't think about how their health and wellness truly impacts what their performance is in business. And I think that taking that one step further is most people think of just their physical health, you know, like what they look like, majority, and what they feel like. But, you know, I use the term without your health, you have no wealth. And I think that focusing on the equilibrium of mind-body health, which I talk about in the book, and we've talked about that before on this podcast, that you know, that's awesome if you're doing great in business, but without that spiritual balance, without the mental balance, you're not really going to accomplish to the degree of what you want to accomplish.
Yeah, I totally agree. And part of that performance in just one aspect is your focus. If you're feeling tired, if you are feeling just out of balance, if you're not feeling at your strongest, or if you're not feeling just at your best physically, it is going to be really tough to focus. Like, I had a headache earlier today, and I was like, and I don't know why, but it probably was because I finally took a day off from the gym today. But it was, oh, you did take a day off? Yeah. But I took the day off, and I don't know, like, because usually I'm up at 5 a.m. working out, but like I got in today and I slept in, like, you know, I'm usually at the gym at 5 a.m., so I got up like 6. But it was like my head just killed me, and it was really hard to focus today. So I think that was one thing that really hurt me, and I should have just gone and worked out or done something, some cardio.
Well, I mean, you know, rest days are good. I take rest days too, and ironically, today is a rest day too. I normally, the days that we do these podcasts, I usually take the day off from all physical activity just to rest my body. You know, just as important as it is to exercise, you also need to rest because you know, people think when they go into the gym you're actually getting stronger when you're not. You're physically breaking your body down in the gym. It's only when you leave the gym and you are nourishing your body with healthy food and rest that your muscles are repairing and they're building back up. I'm kind of digressing a little bit, but you know, the mental routine is very big. And really, for those that are watching or listening right now, if you were to go back and watch or listen to the previous 14 segments that we've done, in the main topic of each of those, you would not be successful at those if you were unhealthy. I mean, that's the best way that I can sum it up, is like you said, your focus, your performance. You know, all those things that we've talked about in previous podcasts, I mean, those really don't mean anything if physically you can't get up and perform at your best on a physical and mental level.
I mean, and I 100% agree with you. And the one that sticks out in my mind is the leadership. It's hard to follow a leader who is not performing at their highest,
Yeah.
you know, and at their best. And if that person's not, it's going to feel easier for you to slack off or not work as hard, or you're just going to feel like, well, they're not doing it, you know, so why
Yeah.
should I, kind of thing.
Yeah, it's a practice what you preach type of thing. So if like the leadership that you report to, or let's say you're in leadership and you're really out of shape and you're trying to tell people what to do, I mean, sometimes it is hard to take that person serious if they're not taking their health serious. You know, how
Yeah.
can they take just the business aspect serious when they can't perform at their best physically either?
No, I totally agree, and I think that also comes to another point we have up here is energy. If the person that you're following, your leader, your CEO, the entrepreneur that you're trying to emulate or whatever, is like has a low amount of energy and they're trying to get you excited about what's happening and they're just pumping you, it's like, whoa, this is not exciting. This is not, there's no
Yeah.
energy here. There's nothing going on.
Yeah.
And that's what I think is really, really important, is like, if you're not eating correctly, working out, feeling good, you're going to have such low energy, and you're not going to be able to inspire your troops and motivate them to get them to take action and perform at their highest level.
Yeah, and that's contagious, either in
Yeah.
a good way or a bad way, like what you said. So you're going to be picking up those vibes from the people that you're around. And I'm telling you, like, the energy thing is a very big thing, because, again, we've talked about this in a previous podcast. What you put out, you're probably going to attract back in abundance. So you better be putting out those good vibes and do whatever you got to do. You know, like we have up on our whiteboard here, having a mental routine and a spiritual routine. Like,
Yeah.
of course, like you set time aside in the morning to go to the gym. I usually go to the gym at night. That's my time. But it's very important to, if you want to get meditation in there for mental or your reading of whatever, your books and your spiritual side, like, again, healthy mind, body, spirit, to make sure you have that equilibrium so you can go out and crush your business goals.
Yeah, I totally agree, and well, business goals and health goals, because sometimes it's tough to even get like motivated to want to continue going to the gym, and because let's be honest, gym and getting healthy, like these aren't, you can say you have healthy habits, but I would say most of them are like healthy routines, because the difference between a routine and a habit is the habit is you do with little or no conscious thought, like it's just kind of, you just do it
Yeah.
because it's just like there. Routines are, that's why they call them, you know, gym routines, or your routine at the gym. They don't call them like habits, you know.
Yeah.
What's your gym habit? You know, you don't really have that,
Kinda sounds
right?
weird.
Yeah, it sounds weird, but that's the thing is you need to, with routine, there's exertion, there's things that happen, so you need to like mentally always have yourself ready and mentally be able to motivate yourself to want to get healthy, to want to make that change, to want to get in the boardroom as well as the gym, like, and perform at your best.
Right, right. So with all that being said, so now we know that it's obviously important to be healthy, to be successful in every aspect of your life, but many would say, well, how do we incorporate the idea of health with wealth?
Yeah, no, and I think the very, very first one here is to make time.
This is my favorite one too.
Go ahead then, take
I'm
this
about to
away.
go off on a rant right now.
No excuses, make time.
I mean,
He's putting the hard helmet on, baby.
if I had a nickel for every time I heard one of my clients say, "Oh, I don't have time," I'd be a multimillionaire. So then I want to take that and turn that around and say, "Listen, like, we're all busy with our schedules. You know, like maybe you have a family and maybe you're working 2 jobs. Whatever the case may be, we technically really don't have time." I tell people, you need to make time. Like if I said, "Listen, I'm going to give you," Brian says, "You know what, Mike, I don't have time to work out." I guarantee you that you would find time if I said, "Dude, I'll give you $1 million if you can get in 7 workouts this week.
I would
One
find
workout
time.
per day."
I would
I'm
find
pretty sure you would find time. You would make time, is what I say. So you have to make it a priority and reprioritize what your list is of things that you need to get done during the day. And I also say, and people say, "Oh, we don't have enough time in the day." Well, and I say this in my book, like an easy way to get 365 extra hours a year is to wake up an hour earlier.
Mm-hmm.
And that's very simple. You know, wake up an hour earlier. There is so much you could accomplish with your health and improving your health by just waking up an hour early, and you got 365 extra hours to dedicate to building the best body that you can build.
No, I totally agree, and either wake up an hour earlier, or there's a really quick a tip, and if you guys want this, hit Mike or I up. It's called the 15-minute miracle. And the 15-minute miracle is basically you take every 15 minutes of your day and you write down what you did. So woke up, brushed my teeth, did it, and you write down for 15 minutes. Do that for a week. You could probably be like, holy crap, I watched TV for 3 hours. Holy crap, I did this. I do this with my coaching clients all the time. And one of my coaching clients was like, dude, I spent so much time at Costco, it was ridiculous. And he's like, I mean, it was like 15 minutes Costco, 15 minutes Costco, 15 minutes. It was like 2 hours, and he's just like, I don't even know what the heck I was there for. I think I just got caught up walking around eating samples and stuff.
Yeah.
But if you do this 15-minute miracle, if you guys want a copy of it, hit up Mike or I, and we can make sure that you get a copy of it. But this will really help you break your day down, so you will be able to figure out where that time exists in your day, so you will have time to work out and get healthy.
Yeah,
and then there is no excuses.
Exactly, and you're keeping a journal too. And again, I'm going to say it again, like what you just said, you're managing your own personal time within that time. You're not. It's not time management.
Right.
It's what did you call it?
Personal
management.
Yeah. You're not managing time. You're managing yourself within that time.
I like that.
Yeah, and what Mike said, waking up an hour early, just, for me personally, I know that I have certain things to do. So it took me a while, but for the past 2 years now, I've been getting up an hour earlier and going to the gym by 5 a.m. And I get that that's not for everybody, but if you could just try it out, I really think it makes a huge difference, because it has, for me, it's given me 10 times more energy, 10 times more focus. I feel good throughout the day, and the biggest problem for me, and I don't know, like Mike, you can maybe talk about how you get motivated at night, because here's my problem. I get done with work, I go home, I sit on the couch, and I go, I don't want to go to the gym.
Yeah.
Like, it's so hard. So I need to get up an hour earlier and do that, but maybe you can shed some light on how you get motivated at night after work.
Well, people always ask me, like, what is the best time to work out? And they're like, oh, is it good to work out in the morning or at night? I tell them, it's good to work out any time that you can work out, like whatever fits your schedule. For me, I don't have, like, any commitments at night. I don't have kids or anything like that. So for me, I love to, after a long day of working, to go to the gym and unwind. That's like my stress reliever. So that's what works for me personally. Like, I'll take some caffeine. Sometimes I'll drink like 2 cups of coffee before I go to the gym. Sometimes I even watch motivational videos on YouTube or something like that, which is a good plug for us to maybe listen to our podcast or watch one of our videos when you're not feeling motivated to go to the gym. But it works for me personally. I tell anyone the best time to work out is the time when you can actually get in a workout during the day. I mean, that's my advice on that.
Yeah, listen to our podcast and get motivated. Go to the gym. This is our podcast, but
yeah, damn it.
I just noticed Mike and I, I think we both got a 2-guard up top here, and then we both got, well, my beard's a bit more patchy than Mike's, but
I'm cutting mine
I
off
was just
tonight,
saying,
actually.
Mike and I, we're twins up here. We're twinning right now, so.
Samesies.
Samesies, bro. So next thing is talking about setting some health goals. And Mike, I love this part, and I want you to talk about this next little bullet point.
Yeah. Well, what I say is treat your body like a business. And the example I want to give, actually, and I know we've talked about him before, is I think Gary Vaynerchuk is a good example on this, because Gary Vaynerchuk, very successful entrepreneur, working like 16+ hour days, but he even himself at, what is the height of his success right now, running a huge company, many companies at the same time, he came to the realization that he was letting his health slip, and that he was feeling lethargic, he wasn't able to focus, he was just feeling physically affected by working so hard and so passionate. So he decided that he needed to treat his body like a business, and that's why I'm using him as an example, is he's not an expert in health and fitness. So he hired a personal trainer and said, you know what, I want to be doing something physically active 7 days a week. I'm going to block out an hour of time in the morning, first thing, before it even starts the day. And he's really stuck by that. And he's had a huge physical transformation that you could see visibly. And I'm sure he's had a huge mental transformation. And I'm sure it's helped his business, and helping him build his personal brand. So, many would say, well, what's the return on investment of investing in your health? And it's like, I can't sit here and say, oh, your return on investment is going to be, you're going to live an extra 10 years. I don't know that. I think the return on investment is just going to be, you are going to live a healthy, happier, more productive life. That's what I would say is the ROI.
I love that, Mike. I mean, I don't have a lot to add except, if you really love what you do and you love your job and you love your work, I mean, and you love and you love your hobbies, wouldn't you want to do that as long as possible?
Yeah.
I mean, like Mike said, we can't say that just because you work out or whatever, you're going to live longer, but it definitely improves your chances if you're healthier to do the things that you love to do longer. And I've interviewed the last couple entrepreneurs I interviewed, both were sick with kidney failure because of stress and things, but they both got to working out and fixing that, and once they did, their businesses actually doubled. Their sales went up. They started to see massive growth in their business because it became a lot easier for them because they were more focused, more energy. They were so much more productive. They got rid it was a stress reliever for them, and it just changed everything for them. So I mean, the ROI is there. You just got to figure out what that is, But it works. So
yeah, and the common denominator is, your chances are greater that you probably are going to live longer. But like you said, you're gonna have a higher quality of life. Like right now, we're not talking about having a 6-pack of abs in order to be successful. We're talking about anti-inflammation, longevity. Having a higher quality of life in general, so you can enjoy your passions in life as you pursue them. So, which leads into our next point is, not everyone is an expert at everything, okay? And I just said, even Gary Vee, he's awesome at social media and building a brand, but he may not know a ton about health and wellness. So, our recommendation here is to hire an expert in the field that you want to learn more about and improve upon. So my perfect example is, if you're trying to improve your health, then look into getting a personal trainer, a nutritionist, someone that is an expert in their particular niche that can help you in that particular field. I always say, I'm not going to do a root canal on my mouth myself. I'm going to go to a dentist, and I'll admit, I probably can't fix the plumbing. I've been an athlete my entire life. I didn't do stuff like that, you know what I mean? If my car breaks down, I'm probably going to hire a mechanic to fix my car. So.
No, I agree. Investing in yourself is the greatest investment you will ever have, and I'm telling you right now, it was so important because you deserve to have that. So getting to that expert, like Mike said, is so important. I have been there. I have tried to be that know-it-all at times, and maybe we both have. I've definitely tried to be I know what I'm doing at the gym or whatever. It was I have no idea what the hell I'm doing. So I got a partner, a gym partner, who knew exactly what he was doing, and he helped me, showed me how to do the workouts, what to lift, what days. I mean, otherwise I would have been going in there and just making stuff up.
Right. Yeah, I mean, not having a plan, not going to a professional in their field for advice and direction, it's like not having a GPS. You're kind of just spinning your wheels. So I have people come to me all the time, and they're like, well, I need help now. I've been going for so long, and I lost a little bit of weight at the beginning, but now I'm stagnant. And I'm like, well, how long? They're like, I've been stagnant for a while. I haven't lost any weight. They're doing the same thing. They're just kind of bouncing around from thing to thing. You need a game plan in all aspects of your life, not just health and wellness, but in business, to get to where you need to go efficiently. And that means going to an expert. I'll say that Brian is good. He invests in himself all the time by doing webinars and learning from other different coaches that have different, strong characteristics in different areas, and he applies that to himself. That's the one thing I will say you are amazing at, is reinvesting back into yourself to grow, because you know that you're going to help so many other people by investing in yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. You have to invest, learn, teach. I always say it, ILT, but Mike's right. Even the best even the guys at the top of their game, Tony Robbins has a coach. I mean, that's pretty powerful.
If that
right
doesn't
there.
sum things up, I don't know what does. You
exactly.
know what I mean?
The best has a coach. So, and that's so important, because it's exactly what Mike just said, but I just want to repeat it because I think it's so important. If you are tired of spinning your wheels, if you are not where you want to be, then stop trying to do it yourself. Invest in yourself. Find a coach, find a business coach, find a dietitian, find somebody who's going to help you get there faster. Why not do the shortcut? What's the ROI on that? You're going to spend more time trying to figure crap out yourself when you could just pay somebody a little bit of money to learn how to do it and get there quicker. It makes so much sense to me.
Yeah, and I would say probably 9 out of 10 clients that come to me that want workouts or nutrition, they say, gosh, I wish I would have came to you right off the bat. I would have saved a lot of time, I would have saved a lot of money, and I would already, be much closer to my goal that I want to be at than where I'm at right now. So don't be afraid to invest in yourself and go to an expert in their particular field, get their services, and reinvest that back into you and in building your brand and building the best you that you can build.
Yeah, just a quick testimonial for Mike. Honestly, a fraternity brother of mine came to me. He wanted abs. He wanted to get healthier. He was asking me for some advice. He asked other people for advice. And then when he found Mike's programs, he is well on his way to, he already does have a six-pack and he's just crushing it, all because he was trying to do it himself. He was asking all these other people who weren't experts in their field. And then when he got to Mike, it's boom, now he's on the best path possible. So, it's just the reality of it. So you have to invest in yourself. And if you think, I don't have the money, you do, because how much more money and time are you going to spend just trying to figure it out yourself?
Exactly.
You're going to make more money. You're going to reinvest it. It's just going to be so much better for you. Please, I don't know. I don't want to beat a dead horse, but I'm just oh my God, so many people just try to do it themselves. It's no, you don't have to.
Yeah. So what we want to really do now is, Brian and I's goal in this podcast is we want to be as transparent as possible about things, because we're on this journey with you guys. We are, struggling with a lot of the same things that you guys may be struggling that are watching or listening. So we wanted to give some personal stories on our journey through entrepreneurship and how we have let our health at times go by the wayside, how it's affected us, and what we did to kind of turn that around. So I'm going to kind of give the floor to Brian to kind of explain his journey in a nutshell on what actually happened. I already know a lot of this stuff, and I actually told Brian when we came up with this concept to do this podcast last time, I said, I don't know, do you want to talk about that? That's kind of personal. And he's like, no, dude. He's like, we need to tell them the truth. We need to let them know exactly how serious this was. So I'm going to let it off. This is, I don't know if it's going to go from PG to rated R or whatnot, but.
Oh man, no, it's true. Mike and I have no problem sharing our stories and getting out there to the world, because I want people to learn from what we've experienced so they can cut their success path, in half if they can, or they don't have to deal with it because I already did for you. So,
exactly.
The reality is, when I first started, I was just super, super stressed out, just crazy stressed, super worried. Everything seemed like it was crashing down. I was getting no sleep. My working out was just becoming really tough. I just was not doing all the things that I really needed to do. And one day, I woke up and it felt like my heart was beating out of my chest. I don't know, it just hurt. It started to hurt. And for 3 or 4 days, I was it felt like I was short of breath. My heart was just it just killed every time. I would be sitting there just in a normal setting thinking about stuff, and my heart was killing me. So eventually, the stress and overwhelm and not working out, I started to eat really bad. I was eating horrible. I was eating boxes of Cheez-Its all day long, because I was okay, I'm just starting a business, I need to be frugal, and I was just scarfing down these Cheez-Its, and it was just the Cookie Monster, but with Cheez-Its. And I eventually had to go get an EKG. I had to go in there and figure out if my heart was going to give out, because it seriously felt like it was. I text Mike, I text my friends, I was I don't know if I'm going to I wasn't thinking I was going to die, but I was just letting them know, I'm I'm not doing so great right now. Yeah. Things just aren't good for me. I was feeling even depressed about stuff. So, it was just very, very real. I wasn't healthy at all. And I try never to let that happen again, but it was just a really bad experience. Thank God, I was fine, but I mentally and physically had to take a break and take a little bit of stress away from the business. I had to get back into working out, eating healthy, like taking meditation and spirituality like much more serious, so I could just be more clear with who I am and what I'm doing and where I'm going, because it was overwhelmed and it freaked me out, man. It was a really bad place I was in, and Mike even saw me there. We would meet for lunch and I probably just looked awful and he was just like, oh my God. So, but yeah, that's my personal story, and if I can just shed any light on that, what I learned is you have to have the equilibrium. Bottom line, it's everything that's in Mike's book. It's everything that I believe in, because this is so personal, like mind, body, spirit, that all has to be there, all has to be working. I had to feel happy again so I could just go out there and crush it and feel full with everything that I'm doing, because it got really bad, and I don't ever want that for anybody else. I mean, it was painful. So
yeah, and that's an incredible story too. I mean, so for my personal story, I have written down in my little note sheet here that in a nutshell, I went from being a college athlete, I was in shape, to being I was kind of skinny after college, and then I got into the best shape of my life. Was super muscular. I felt really good. But then I decided to write my book, and then I got fat. Like, it's that simple. And now I'm like getting back to being into the best shape of my life again. But for me, I'm not where I want to be, but I'm well on my way. But I will say personally that I became so focused on entrepreneurship and being successful and building my brand that relationships around me have suffered. And I have been trying to focus on that part of my life and try to have more of a balance, mind, body, spirit, not get too caught up in pursuing my dreams and forgetting about my family and friends around me. I'm very guilty of that. I'm not where I need to be. I'm still working on that. I'm a work in progress, but I'm trying my best. But when I decided I wanted to write the book, I was in really good shape, and I got so focused on writing the book and getting material into that on a daily basis that I was skipping workouts. I was even skipping meals, or if I did eat, I was making a quick, fast decision like most people do, and I was eating like shit. Well, that caught up to me. Check out my Facebook, because I posted a before and after picture. Like, I was skinny pretty much everywhere, but I had this like baby gut on me, and it was like, it's so funny to look at now, but like I'm like still getting rid of that now, because I got so caught up in trying to achieve a goal that like I put on my blinders, which is okay to a certain extent, but I like started forgetting about everything else, So I'm chipping away. I am trying to get my body fat down. Just like everyone else. So that's my personal story, and I started to have different health issues here and there. I was having trouble sleeping, just everything. I just did not physically feel good, which affected a lot of different areas of my life. So that's proof that without your health you do not have any wealth. So
yeah, it definitely hurt my business too. I mean, it hurt both of our businesses really, because we probably weren't performing our best for our clients. We weren't performing our best for all the other things that we were running. I mean, when you eat so bad, like when I was eating those Cheez-Its, I know it's funny. It's funny now. I'll talk about it. I seriously was eating a box of Cheez-Its a day. Like, that's how bad it got.
And he was eating so much at one point in time, I told him, dude, you ought to just invest in some stock, and get a good ROI on that.
I should have. It was bad, man. Mike even saw you send him videos. I was pulling just 3 or 4 boxes. I was like, buy one, get one at the grocery store, man. My whole cart filled with 5. But you know what happened? It was like my brain felt like it was like a slug or something. It was just so like it made
like you're lethargic.
Yeah,
foggy.
I felt so foggy for so long by eating so bad. And it was a nightmare. It's just, I don't want anybody, like, start eating healthy if you're not, because you know what it's like. You feel like I felt like my brain was made of like cheddar cheese. And it was just like, I can't think.
Even his skin was starting to turn orange from all the fake cheese that Cheez-Its uses, all the chemicals that he was pumping his body
It was like
full
cancer in a box.
I mean, we can laugh about it now, but at the time, I mean, when Brian called me, he's like, dude, I had to get an AKG. I'm like, dude, what the? I go, this is getting serious. We need to like intervene. And I needed to do the same thing with myself. So
yeah, but Mike really did help me after that. He was like, bro.
Yeah, and you may have.
It was helpful, man.
Brian, look at it. He no longer has a dad bod because he took his shirt off in a previous segment. You saw him. He's freaking lean and mean, brother.
Working
You know
on
what I'm
it. Get
saying?
his pythons going here.
So,
Oh my
well, let's wrap
gosh.
this up. For a challenge, what do you think a good challenge is for the folks listening and watching, Brian?
You know, and we actually, I'm just looking at the board going, holy smokes, we didn't even write one down. But you know what? The challenge that I give you is to do something healthy for your body, body, mind, and spirit. Do something. So either start getting into some kind of mental like meditation, and please just do something physical for your body. Get your heart rate up. Do get a run in or just something. Start a routine. Start a routine that's either going to help your mind, body, spirit, everything. Because I think that once you start doing that, you'll start noticing the changes and you'll start seeing more success. I can promise you that.
Yep. And my health tip is going to further reinforce what you just said. Brian wants you to do something physically active and set that time for every single day. My health tip is that the studies actually show that doing 20 to 30 minutes of aerobic exercise, which can be as simple as just going for a walk in your housing development or wherever you're at, or at the gym on the treadmill, that does more for the regrowth of brain cells than doing like a crossword puzzle. So that's how important physical activity is for the mental aspect, which is highly involved in being successful in business. You have to be mentally on top of things. So that just proves that you need to set aside that time on a daily basis. Do something physical, I don't care what it is, for 20 to 30 minutes, and know that you're doing something good not only for your body but also for your brain. Don't give up on your crossword puzzles. Still do those. But I'm just saying that physical activity is really the king of all. So good luck.
All right, let's keep improving every single day with our business, life, and health, baby. See, I used to be Fat Brian, but now I'm Flat Brian. So we're all good, baby. Hey, thank you all for joining. We love you. We care about you. We want you to be successful. So we'll see you all on the next episode.